Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakathum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'm going to start it off with Revelation 13, verse 16, which, hey, to all you sincere Akim and Akwat out there that are in the know, you already know. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that he causeth all are the elite rulers of the planet right now, who are of the nation of Esau, Edom, or these so-called white people, Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, these elite families, elite bankers, whatever you want to call them. And that mark, which in the Strongs, or the Greek, is charagma, is the RFID/NFC, micro C-hip implant. And then it talks about in the right hand as well as the forehead. We know they've got a Neuralink out there, which has already had several human trials, Synchron, and many other upstart, BCI or brain computer interface companies rolling out this technology into the mainstream. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, as well as get a job, travel abroad, get a home or an apartment, access the internet, do anything in society, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the BEAST, or the number of his name. And, in this year of 2025, the hopeful year of the deliverance of the elect and the destruction of Esau, Edom, and his system, it's like every other day, information is coming out on what? Biometrics, cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, CBDCs, a cashless society, smart cities, et cetera, et cetera. We are quickly moving onto this digital grid to where in order to access it, you're going to have some form of the charagma, that C-hip implanted in you. And in this video, I'm going to go into a few articles just hitting the different aspects, leading towards this eventuality, from finance to, health to immigration, you name it. Remember, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, everyone in every aspect in society. But the first article I'll be going to is on fortune.com, dealing with, the financial aspect of it, buying and selling. PayPal to let U.S. merchants accept payment in more than 100 cryptocurrencies. And we know, Elon Musk, so-called, was a founder of PayPal. And what's he known for? Neuralink, that BCI going into the forehead. And now you've got PayPal talking about allowing U.S. merchants to accept in more than 100 cryptocurrencies, these digital currencies. And lest we forget, the other month, what did Donald Trump just signed into place? That digital dollar, the stable coin. And Trump has also been known for saying that he wants to make America the crypto and Bitcoin capital of the world. Fintech giant PayPal launched a new payment option on Monday that will let smaller U.S. merchants accept more than 100 cryptocurrencies, including mainstays like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also zanier options like Trump's meme coin and even the novelty token Fartcoin. Any U.S. business using PayPal's online payments processing platform can opt in, said a spokesperson. Now, I'm going to jump around to hit the main points. There's a worldview where you can imagine that the world is moving on chain, and he calleth all, said Frank Keller, the executive vice president of Let's see who this guy is. Saying he's just an executive vice president. Said Keller, referring to putting data on blockchains. Is this happening overnight? No. Some people say long time periods. Other people say very short time periods. I think we will see movement. But hey, we know according to the scriptures that it's going to be shorter rather than later. Sooner rather than later. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe or destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, that deceiver, Esau Edom, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, specifically these elites, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, not a long time. And these elites see the writing on the wall. They see the men of the Lord, or the prophets, out prophesying, and Israel, waking up, and at least with the elect, though you've got a lot of Israelites that are going to be destined to destruction, waking up and acknowledging that they're Israelites, waking up and calling upon the names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. And the elites know that when these things happen, according to the book of Judith, chapter 5 in the Apocrypha, that the Lord is dealing with His people, and whatever heathen nations that's ruling, is going to be taken down. And they know that they're the Edomites, and that this is their last rulership before they go into 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery, and then their nation is permanently cut off the face of the earth. So this devil is about to pull out all the stops to bring about this NWO, that great RESET, that fourth industrial revolution. And, you've been hearing all about Agenda 2030. So, we're not putting a date to anything, but that's the date this devil has put in place to where he wants to have everything fully functioning and running by then. So again, the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. To settle the transactions, PayPal will let users connect existing crypto wallets they own to a checkout page. Depending on a buyer's crypto wallet, PayPal will sell the cryptocurrency on a centralized exchange like Coinbase, which I believe is, going to be the main platform used for that US stablecoin, or a decentralized exchange like Uniswap. The proceeds of that sale will be converted into PayPal's own stablecoin, which will then be converted into US dollars sent back to the merchant. Imagine a shopper in Guatemala buying a special gift from a merchant in Oklahoma, and he calls it all. Alex Chriss, president and CEO of PayPal, said in a statement, using PayPal's open platform, the business can accept crypto for payments. But I'm going to jump down to the last paragraph. PayPal plans to expand the ability for merchants to accept crypto to larger enterprise customers in the US and globally, but a spokesperson declined to provide a timeline. He knoweth that he hath but a short time. So this is just one aspect, moving from fiat and physical currencies to those cryptocurrencies, people having it on their phones with apps or a crypto wallet, and then eventually to what? Having it with that physical implementation in your body. But now, let's move on to the next aspect of it. Travel. This is from biometricupdate.com. Switzerland prepares to introduce biometric ID cards. Switzerland is planning to introduce a new chip-enabled biometric identity card by the end of 2026. The country is introducing the new document to align with European Union regulation, which mandates that all member states issue biometric ID cards from 2021. Although Switzerland is not an EU member, the country is required to introduce a chip-enabled ID card no later than 1 year after the revised Agreement on the Free Movement of Persons, AFMP, comes into force. Current biometric passports already contain a CHIP with fingerprints and facial data. And, the scriptures speak of, your biometrics or your personal data being related to the charagma. And when we go to the word M-A-R-K in the Strongs, of course it's G5480, charagma, a stamp and imprinted mark, which is the actual physical CHIP. And when we go to the root word, it says what? From the same as G5482, a scratch or etching. G5482, codex or hodix, a pale or a stake. And in the Strong's definition, from Carasso, through the idea of scratching. And how do they get that syringe into your skin? They scratch or prick into it. So this hodix is the syringe. But now let's go to the root word of that, which is G1125, grapho, which in the outline of biblical usage says, and we're going to go to, we're going to read Roman numeral 2, then the number 2 underneath it, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record, such as what? Your biometric data, your health information, your banking and crypto, your identity, everything to do with you. The Swiss Federal Police announced on Monday that work on a new ID card is already underway. The CHIP containing biometric data will protect against misuse, such as counterfeiting, while the biometric data can only be read when the ID card is physically represented. But, they're going to inherently make these systems to be hacked, to be broken into, and to have people's information sold online to further, assuage it in that, look, if you want 100% security, 666% security, you're going to need this physical CHIP inside your body. Only countries with data protection regimes equivalent to Switzerland will be able to access the fingerprint data stored inside the CHIP. Swiss residents will still be able to blah, 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 that's it. The country is also expecting a referendum on the introduction of electronic identities in September of this year, 2025. He know what that he hath but a short time. So we dealt with finance, traveling, and your personal information. Now, let's go to immigration and border security. And this is from Next In News' YouTube channel. ICE buying eyeball scanning iPhone app to deport and remove people. This is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
ICE's newest tool for deportation is eye-catching, a technology allowing agents to capture someone's iris from 10 to 15 inches away just by using the camera on their iPhone, with an app that would match the iris with a photo they already have.
The iris is the part of your eye that everybody sees. It's color, it has stripes in it, these sorts of things. And they are unique to an individual.
U.S. Immigration and Customs
Unique to an individual, your grapho.
Enforcement has issued a notice to purchase an AI technology from a company that uses iris recognition for enforcement and removal operations.
In general,
that's another thing. AI, artificial intelligence, heavily being rolled out. And what's another thing Donald Trump did earlier this year? Signed the $500 billion Stargate project to ramp up the building of AI infrastructure in the U.S.
It's quite accurate.
Steve Beatty is a computer science professor with MSU Denver.
Yeah, you can do it from quite a distance away, depending upon the magnification of your device.
The iris system captures over 265 points of unique characteristics.
On a government contract database, ICE says it's considering two of the company's products. One that can identify offenders based on their iris, and another that provides that data on a mobile app.
The innovation is now that it's much less expensive, that it can be done on less expensive devices, such as phones.
The technology compares the iris scan to other existing photos, like a criminal database photo or even a social media account.
Facial recognition companies have trolled, essentially have scraped the internet for photos.
Biometric scanning is not new to Colorado, but it is regulated here.
The way that we saw facial recognition working was with one to identify and match, right? Versus profiling. That's two different things.
Democratic Rep. Jennifer Bacon co-sponsored a law in 2022 that required police agencies to share how they plan to use facial recognition and required it not to be the sole reason for an arrest or investigation. Arvada Police is one of the agencies that use it. Last year, they used a positive identification to identify a person in distress.
We know that AI shows up to help make things easier, but we have to differentiate between when AI is used as a tool to help make things easier.
But at the federal level, the facial recognition is not regulated the same way.
No, and that's why the states are worried about it.
All right. Now I'm going to go to my last article dealing with, health. And this is on media.hubspot.com. About to hit mental overload? Slap the old e-tattoo on your forehead. So what? First, we started off with cryptocurrencies, digital things. Then we moved on to more physical implementations with a biometric ID card, iris scans with the phone app, and now what? A e-tattoo, another physical implementation. Shove it questionnaires. There's a new way to test who's about to lose their mind. Researchers at the University of Texas at Austin developed a forehead monitor that could help us track and eventually manage our mental workloads. And what did RFK Jr. talk about recently? I think he said by 2028, he wants all Americans to be wearing a health wearable to track, your health. And, let you know when you need to take your medication, if you need a JAB, if a disease is coming upon you, anything like that. The tech, they say, knows you're about to crack before you do, and the hope, per The Guardian, is that this technology can save many lives. And with those BCIs, or brain computer interfaces like Neuralink, what? They are physically attached to, your brain and can read your different neurons and electrical signals. So how much more efficient would it be to have something like that physically in you to quickly get that data to you and to your health providers? The tech, they say, knows you're about to crack before you do, and hope, per The Guardian, is that this technology can save many lives. What exactly is going on here? The device combines EEG brainwaves and EOG eye movement sensors in a thin, wireless patch that is adhered to the forehead to create a full e-tattoo, complete with associated electrodes. It's a real cyberpunky look. The UT Austin team's study tracked participants' brain activity as they ran through tasks of variable difficulty, then fed the data into a machine learning model trained to predict mental workload levels. And that's exactly what it did. It successfully tracked how hard participants' brains were working and predicted when their mental acuity would drop. Can this be used to show your boss how badly they've broken you? Yeah, this seems doable, though researchers are more aiming to use this tech as a real-time mental workload decoder to alert people in high-stakes jobs such as pilots, air traffic controllers, doctors, and emergency dispatchers, basically anyone whose mental lapse could kill people, to offload their work. Hey, an example of those miracles they're going to use to more easily sell this technology to you people. And we know that with Neuralink, what are they saying? It's allowing, paraplegics to access technology to allow them to interact with the world again. They're also talking about another implant. I can't remember the name of it, but it's called something vision or something eye that's going to allow the blind to see again. And then just recently on the Breakfast Club with that sodomite, Charlemagne, the devil, him and his panel were talking about, would you get Neuralink or a C-hip? And some of the points they were making is, it'll make you faster, and smarter. You can speak multiple languages and, just to be able to compete with people that have it, or even AI, you're going to need that technology. So as we can see, everything is moving towards this eventuality. But back in Revelation 13, I'm going to jump up to verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. He's speaking of Esau and his technological might. And what's an example of him bringing fire on earth to the sight of men? Those 2 atomic bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Verse 14, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Speaking of this beast system we're in, the reincarnated Roman Empire, the NATO EU alliance that the U.S. is a part of and at the head of, that last leg of the fourth beast, those iron toes mixed with miry clay in Daniel chapter 2. And with all those articles we've been going into, it's been what? Edomite countries, a part of some aspect of the beast, NATO or the EU, talking about rolling out these technologies. And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast. Allowing people to know when they've reached their mental work limit, allowing the blind to see, hear, walk again, etc., etc., saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And that beast that had a wound by a sword and did live was the ancient Roman Empire, which it went down, and then that idea came back into the earth when Esau came back into power during the Renaissance or the rebirth. And fast forward to today, we're in the full, implementation of that system. But as I said, that they should make an image to the beast. And we can see from, China, Japan, countries in Southeast Asia, in African countries, etc., in India, etc., etc. You got a bunch of different nations doing what? Moving towards digital currencies, cashless societies, AI, and implants. I just saw a video by Elder Yashawamba where he was talking about how in China they've got a fully AI hospital, and also they've got completely cashierless stores where the products have RFID tags in them. So we are quickly moving towards the end game, the rollout and mandatory implementation of the MARK of the beast micro C-hip implant. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.
Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. Hey, Shalom Akim, and if you sincere Akwath, this is just a addendum to this video, and I've been doing this a lot lately because it's like when you get all the information for a lesson and get done with the lesson, even more information comes out, just further showing how close we are to these things coming to pass. But as with that article I ended, this video on, with that tattoo on the forehead to monitor, work stress, lo and behold, here's an article from dailygalaxy.com. BG, or Gil Bates, declares the end of the smartphone era and unveils its surprising replacement. The age of smartphones is coming to an end. A bold prediction from BG reveals a revolutionary new tech set to replace your phone forever. In a bold prediction that's making waves across the tech world, Microsoft founder BG has suggested that smartphones could soon be obsolete, replaced by an entirely new kind of technology. Forget everything you know about handheld devices. Gates envisions a future where electronic tattoos become the new norm. Wearables on your skin. Just one step closer to wearables underneath your skin. The decline of smartphones. Smartphones have been an indispensable part of our lives for over a decade. From checking emails to scrolling through social media and navigating our daily routines, these devices have shaped how we interact with the world. But Gates believes this era is nearing its end. According to Medium, Gates points to electronic tattoos developed by Chaotic Moon and later acquired by Accenture as the next big leap in personal technology. Instead of holding a phone in our hands, these tattoos could allow us to communicate, access the internet, and even monitor our health, all without a screen in sight. Your grafo, things recorded down to not be forgotten, your biometrics, and remember, RFK Jr. by 2028 wants Americans wearing health wearables. Everybody in politics, business, at the top, hey, they're all on board with the agenda. There is no voting your way out of this, Salakia. Had to check something real quick. The key advantage, these tattoos are integrated into the body. Hey, that harax, ultimately, that cut or prick incision into your skin to put that haragma in you. Imagine having a device embedded in your skin that lets you interact with the world through simple gestures or touch. It's sleek, unobtrusive, and possibly more intuitive than anything we've seen so far. The tattoos are powered by tiny nano capacitors, and they don't require bulky batteries or displays, making them a far more subtle alternative to today's mobile devices. How do these tattoos work? You might be wondering, what exactly are electronic tattoos? Well, think of them as temporary skin applications that use smart ink filled with nanocapacitors. These tattoos can communicate with surrounding devices, letting you do things like send messages, browse the web, or even unlock doors, all with a simple swipe or gesture. Beyond communication, these tattoos could also monitor vital signs like your heart rate, body temperature, and even detect potential health issues before they become serious. Hey, those miracles he did in the side of the beast to deceive the people and have them wonder after the beast. They are in essence a health tracker and a communication tool rolled into one. And the best part, they're invisible, meaning no more holding a phone or carrying a bulky device around. It's a seamless experience where technology becomes a part of you, not something you carry. The big question, privacy, security, and ethics. And I'm going to just jump around a bit to hit the main points. Still, there are undeniable advantages. The tattoos could replace the need for passwords, credit cards, Which, what do you do with that? Buying and selling, or even physical keys. In theory, they could provide a level of security that's far more robust than anything we have today, thanks to their biometric grapho uniqueness. That's pretty much it with this article. But hey, as it says in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, though it tarry, wait for it will surely come. It will not tarry. Hey, we're at the door of the rollout and mandatory implementation of the MOTB. Hey, so stay strong and, pray and do what you can to stay in the good graces of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, so that you will be protected during the hour of temptation, which is coming to try the whole world. So before I get out of here, I'm going to say Bad Babol, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.